The Body Shop connects you with the hottest fitness models in the world. Learn the backstage secrets that most successful bikini divas, fitness models, and bodybuilders use to dominate their competition and land on the covers of magazines. Only here at the Body Shop will we allow you to listen and talk to the best in fitness competition. If you're passionate about bodybuilding and fitness, you have found your new home. All of us here at FTNS Radio would like to welcome you to the Body Shop. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome your host, Andre Brick St. Clair.
Entire New England area. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my co-host, Mr. Brian Cannone.
Bricks.
What's up, B?
It's Thursday night.
Thursday night, baby. Live.
That's it.
That's what we doing, baby. We live. 125,000 strong. You know how we do it, man.
If I do one more of these. Are
What?
we doing the Thursday before the show?
Are we?
I don't know. That's going to be cutting it close. I don't know.
It all depends. If super producer Big Sean wants us here, then we'll be here. But if he decides to say no, I ain't going to be mad at him.
No.
All right, I'm just letting you know right now. Okay? Because I can save my voice. You know what I mean?
Drinking lemon juice.
Yeah, nah, hell no. Bricks don't do that. Bricks is drinking Jack Daniels, man. Right before the event, my voice is my instrument. You know what I mean? Drinking Jack Daniels, with a Heineken chaser. But that's besides the point.
I don't think so.
Anyway,
Make your way right out of here.
Everybody knows I'm lying about that. Brian, you actually have a special guest with us today. This man is coming all the way from London, England. Yeah. You know what, ladies? I want you to get ready.
Hold on.
Whoa, no. I'm not going to introduce him yet. I got to get the ladies right. Damn, every time.
It makes me nervous. It makes me think you're going to jump all into that.
Now, why would I do that?
Because you got to get the build-up.
Okay, go ahead.
The momentum.
All right. I want to do the build-up, so what's up? What you want to talk about?
Well, in the way that our show's going, and our guest has never been to the Fitness Atlantic, so he's in for a little surprise on what the whole thing is about.
Okay.
And, but there's a turn of direction that we've been taking. And, some of it comes from not focus so much on the whole event being about bodybuilding, which it hasn't really been. Everybody's perception is that's a bodybuilding show because you got one in it,
Right.
That's what it is. But, it's a lot of girls, a lot of females, and then the fitness modeling, like the guest we just had on, who's really going into male fitness model. He's inspired by other fitness models, which we both have to, see that that's a little change.
Right.
But then bringing in celebrity trainers.
Yeah. Tony Horton.
You were with me last year, and it's something that we were really trying to put together because the way the Oakdale Theater is set up. I mean, you have this huge dome, and then you have the theater behind it, and most typically you'd see somebody would try to do a fitness trade show, and we laugh about them, we joke about them, because most fitness trade shows are not fun.
No.
And the thing is, the people that come in these companies that come, mostly sports nutrition, get really cheap on what they give out. They take one protein bar and cut it up into 1,000 slivers, and they hand that out to the people walking through in the line, and then it's just not, when we saw it and we walked in this dome and we went to see a wrestling event that happened to be there, we're like, you know what, but there's still 1,000 people sitting there in the wrestling ring and they're all watching it. We're like, overhead lights, everything. I mean, I could see a celebrity trainer, I could see MMA, I could see something, just like big time.
You know what, it's funny that you mentioned MMA because in a couple of weeks I'm going to have an MMA star who is affiliated with the UFC, the official, UFC, Ultimate Fighting Championships on The Body Shop.
All right.
All right. So in 2 weeks, I don't want you to book a guest because I'm going to book him.
Okay.
And but looking at where you've brought the fitness industry from, the reason I say where you brought it from is because you've always been, pioneer and always looked ahead to everything else. A lot of shows still do the black curtains with the floodlights in the front, and you get the muscular guys come out, they hit 3 or 4 big poses, they walk off, no one's really intrigued and no one really gives a damn, to be honest with you.
Well, it's a small market. It's it's the little pinnacle of fitness. It's a little tiny peak that likes the extreme bodybuilding, and then as you step down, the market gets a little larger.
Right.
When we look at fitness modeling, competitions like that, and then you open it up to a larger market, and looking at the different ranges of things, but what it came to last year was just such a difference between the people in the Dome who are in there to work out with Tony Horton and the people that are in the theater to see Fitness Atlantic. Right. And this year, I think you'll see even more of a tie-in as Tony comes on stage with us this year.
Well, hold on, man. Don't give it all away. What the hell? But stop giving everything away, okay?
All right.
Well, sometimes they got to learn to listen for the entire hour because they be like, okay, Brian's on. Brian's going to tell us everything we need to know. Stop doing that, all right? Matter of fact, you fined, all right? You owe me 25 cents. But here's what we're going to do. Let's get to our guest.
Yes.
Okay? Let's bring the guest on, and let's talk to him, and let's see what he thinks about it, what's he's going to do, what's his role, and then we'll tie it all in together for April 14th. Now, how does that sound to you?
Sounds pretty good. Let's go.
So now, ladies, once again, without any more further ado or interruption, for those of you who like the voice of Idris Elba, okay, for those of you who do not know who that is, if anybody's seen The Wire, this is the actor that portrayed Stringer Bell. Now, from London, England, please welcome Robert Brace.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, Rob?
I like that introduction. Idris is from one of the neighborhoods that I grew up in, man.
That's right, that's right.
So I like that.
Okay. So, listen, I really don't know too much about you, and I apologize. Normally, I try to get a little notes.
No
Brian,
worries.
just brought you into the studio and was
I
like,
said Food Network and his eyes just lit up.
Well,
he said food.
You like food, right?
Take a look at me, man. Take it all in, brother. Take it all in.
I take it all in, man.
There it is, man. 5'10", 235 pounds, 16% body fat.
Whoa.
Talk to me.
Okay.
How did you get on Food Network?
Well, it's the short story is I was given a lead by a client of mine who turned out to be a casting agent. But there's a longer story to it. I don't know if you want me to get into that now. Or,
give it to me, man.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Well, look, I've always my background is I was a professional dancer. I came from London. I was at the Alvin Ailey School.
Okay.
And so I came into it a different route. And so I was personal training a lot, and I had a friend called Mark Malkov. He's a New York comedian, and he does a lot of these publicity stunts, and he gets loads of media. CNN, MSNBC, he's been everywhere. And so he came to me with a project. The first project he was doing was he lived in IKEA for a month.
IKEA?
So he went to IKEA, and you know how to have the beds and stuff set out. So the dude lived in there for a whole month, right? And, people were coming in, and he brought me in as his trainer that day. So we were running through IKEA. I had him doing burpees. He was doing punches. We were doing bicep curls and stuff.
I'd love to see that. You walk in IKEA, there he is, sitting on the couch watching a fake TV.
Yeah, no, it was so much fun. Right. So that kind of inspired me to just look outside of just fitness and my immediate surroundings. Right. And then about a year later, he came back to me, and he's like a skinny fat kind of guy, right? He's skinny, but he had a belly. He said, "Look, my next project is I want to see if I can get 6-pack abs in a month." Okay. And a lot of people were laughing at him, said he couldn't do it, and so he brought me on for that project. We filmed it. We got him 6-pack abs in 28 days, and his body was just ripped. Okay. That video went viral. Had about 850 views in the first 2 weeks. Went over 1 million views, and we just got the feedback was just outrageous. People just wanted to do this thing, and so I think that's what how people started to get to know a little bit about me. We created actually a DVD system off the 28-day called a 28-day challenge, just off of what people wanted to do with him. So I think think people started to see that and see that I could do some transformational stuff and, you know, see me on camera. And I think one of the things I always try to do is, you know, I've always wanted to make the leap into more media.
Right.
And one of the things that I learned is, as you're getting there, you have to take the leap from just being a personal trainer to being a marketer,
right,
and knowing how to communicate what it is that you do, what it is that makes you different. You know, you can be the best personal trainer in the world, but if you don't have those communication skills, you'll be the best unknown personal trainer in the world.
Totally agree with you.
And so I created different fitness systems. That's what I'm known for in New York. We have a system called New York Lean 25-minute system. People come in class, knock it out, and get out.
Right.
And so one of the women in class, she was there for the 25-minute class, and we were always going back and forth. And then, you know, she just became a real fan. And then one day she just sent me a link. Turns out she's a casting agent. I didn't know. She said, "Go, you know, you should go for this thing." And I was like, you know, am I really going to get on a reality show? Is that really something that's in my future? I was in the studio one day, started putting together all the stuff from the Mark Malcolm video and the different videos that I've done, sent it in, and in about a week I had a call. So went in, did the screen testing, and in about 2 more weeks I was on the show.
You was on the show.
So I think it's always about being prepared.
Right. Now, see, earlier I just said that you was on the Food Network, and I wanted people, you know, just to get their appetites wet. That's a good segue right there, Brian. So I'm trying to, you know what I mean, try to get their appetites wet. But you're actually on Fat Chef.
Yes,
correct.
The show Fat Chef.
Okay, now that's taken on like a whole new life of its own all of a sudden.
Right.
You know, you got these chefs from, like, you know, various backgrounds.
Right.
And I mean pastry chefs, and, you know, you got, I believe it's one chef that specializes in like French cuisine,
right,
and we all know how fattening that is.
Right.
Me being from the West Indies, believe it, we understand. Butter is a staple.
Yeah,
you understand?
That's right.
So now we're looking at these chefs who prepare these, you know, delicious meals, these delicates, but they have a problem where they can't stop eating.
Right.
And at first, when I first saw the promos for it, I was like, okay, this seems like another Biggest Loser type of thing.
Right.
And then, you know, I caught the pilot, and I was like, yo, that's pretty good.
Right.
How do you feel as though your background with fitness tied into what you do now on the show?
Okay. Well, I think, a couple of things. It was obviously the training and fitness. You know, if you have a good foundation, you know how to help people lose weight, you know how to do it in a safe way.
Absolutely.
I think for these chefs in particular, you know, there was another element. I mean, there's an addiction there, you know, and they're around food all of the time. And my specific background is I've done a lot of motivational speaking, and I actually used to do a lot of ministerial work where I would preach and do motivational speaking and counsel and that kind of stuff. And so that really helped me with the individual chefs on how to talk to them, how to bring them along without beating them over the head. Because the truth of the matter is they need to come to their own decision.
Right.
You know, and so I think, and then look, working in New York City, man, you meet all kinds of characters. Right. And you got to be able to deal with what they throw at you, bring them along, motivate them, not take it personally, and get them right back on track.
Right.
And so just being from New York, being a trainer in New York, dealing with all of that, you know, there's nothing too much that's going to surprise you once you get on this show. But I think those are the specific things in my background that help me deal with these chefs.
Okay. Go ahead, B. Because I was going to go somewhere, but go ahead.
Okay. You know, well, maybe you're going this direction. You know, we're going into break?
You could stop. Damn it. You keep giving it away. Don't worry about the hands. Right. Sean is back there dancing. He's listening to YouTube. You know what I mean? Robert Brace got a YouTube channel where he's singing the Star Spangled Banner in the English accent over a hip-hop beat, and that's what Sean is dancing to.
Being that you were a personal trainer in New York City, it has to be a competitive type of just very competitive business between all the trainers. I mean, I knew a trainer once that worked for like Crunch, and you're not given any like free consultations or anything. It's like, there's the floor, here's your shirt, here's your prices, good luck. And then you go for it. But at your level, hiring a publicist, getting the marketing people behind you, and then really getting yourself onto TV. That's just playing at a whole nother level, you know, and that's It's pretty interesting.
Right.
Are you going somewhere with it?
Yeah, man, I was going to go somewhere with it. And my question for you is this right here. Do you think that your accent, do you think it helped you or that it hindered you when you actually went out for the initial screen test and the interview? I tell you what, don't answer that because we got to cut to commercial. So ladies and gentlemen, you listen to The Body Shop on FTNS. We'll be right back.
It's time for a fitness break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back on FTNS.
Hey fitness fans, Andre Brooks St. Clair here, host of The Body Shop, inviting you to the 14th annual FitnessAtlantic.com event taking place at the Oakdale Theater on April 14th. Now, I have a special friend that's going to tell you a little bit more about it.
Hey boys and girls, your old pal Tony Horton here, and guess what? I am coming to Connecticut. That's right, I'm going to be there. I got a cheat sheet. Nope, that's okay. That's okay. Anyway, I'm going to be there April 14th, 2012. That's this year. Can you believe it? 2012. I'm going to be there for 2 great workouts. There's going to be a warrior workout and a striker's workout, so 2 different levels. You can come to one, or you can come to both. One's at 10 and one's at 3 p.m. All right, so I want to see you there. Also, we're going to do photographs. We're going to do autographs. Also, book signing. My book, Bring It's going to be there. If you don't have it already, what is wrong? You should get it, and I will sign it. All right? Also, we'll have a discussion about health and fitness and wellness and food and diet. It's all going to happen. There's lots of stories, lots of laughs. It's going to be at the Oakdale Theater in Wallingford, Connecticut. So there you go. That's all you need to know. It's going to be a blast. I want you to be there, and I want you to bring it again.
It's here, the newest weapon in post-workout recovery nutrition. This natural and organic all-in-one formula delivers the ammunition your body needs to advance on your battlefield and beyond. Introducing Amnutrition's Basic Training. Protein, branched-chain amino acids, vitamins, minerals, good fats, and enzymes with no artificial sugars, colors, or flavors. Go to www.amnutritionhealth.com and join the ranks of the supplement revolution. Beyond protein, the body's ammunition, Amnutrition.
World's first fitness radio will keep you moving. FTNS, 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 FTNS.
Hi, I'm Amy Hall, host of The Green Gate. What are you hungry for? Do you need to rebalance your plate? Join us as we talk about whole, sustainable food, awesome recipes, and all the other things that nourish us. Now is the time to change your relationship with food and get back to the simple, delicious, nutritious basics. The Green Gate, your doorway to great food and healthy living. Weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, only on FTNS.
Need FTNS on the go? There's an app for that. Download the FTNS app for your iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch now. FTNS, world's first fitness radio, will keep you moving. Welcome back to FTNS, world's first fitness radio. Enjoy the show.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to The Body Shop. I am your host, Bricks. My in-studio co-host is Mr. Brian Canone.
Bricks.
What up, B?
What's up?
Man, you know, I'm just living the life, man. You know, I'm learning a lot from our guest. You know, Fat Chef, Food Network trainer. I really don't know what official title to give him, but ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Robert Brace.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Rob? All right, now, before the break, I asked you a question, which was kind of funny.
Right.
But it's serious at the same time, and that question was, do you personally feel as though your accent hurt or helped you in actually landing the gig on Fat Chef?
Well, there's 2 ways to look at it, right? I think initially, sometimes people don't know how to take it. Right. When I walk in the room and they see me, they expect a totally different thing than when I start to talk. You know, I see that all the time. There's a deer caught in the headlights kind of. So that I think, you know, sometimes it's a double-edged sword because people sometimes don't know where to put me.
Right.
But then at the same time, the way I look at it is, look, this is a business, and you got to use whatever you have.
Right.
And you know, I used to feel like, oh well, I don't want to be known to be the guy with the English accent or whatever. But the truth is, that's what I am.
Right.
And that's what gets attention. And so if I need to use that as a vehicle for people to listen to me, then yeah, I'm going to use it.
Right.
I think everybody should use what they have.
Absolutely.
So to answer your question, I say it could have been a factor. Nobody directly came and said to me, you know, because you have an English accent, you're on the show.
Right.
However, I use it. I try and use it to my benefit, you know, wherever I can. I think that's just a natural part of, you know, going after what you want.
Right. So let me branch off of that when we're talking about natural parts, using what you have, using what's, for lack of a better term, God-given to you.
Exactly.
And earlier in the first segment, you mentioned that sometimes these chefs have to come to this decision on their own.
Right.
And your job is basically to help coach them along while listening to them and trying to, you know, get a feel for, I guess, whatever type of addiction or what may have caused this addiction, what may have, you know, triggered it, so on and so forth. And behind the scenes, as we were all laughing and joking and talking, my producer mentioned that a lot of these trainers don't realize that at the end of the day, this is still a business.
Right.
Now, part of the business of being a personal trainer is not necessarily getting somebody into the best shape of their life. I mean, let's face it, anybody can basically do that.
Right.
I think what separates a lot of trainers from being good and being great and actually making it is something that you've done, something that people like Tony Horton have done, something that Brian has actually done, and that is you actually learn the psychology of the business.
Right.
You know, you learn to, when you talk to people, to listen.
Right.
It's not always about dictating. Eat this, eat that. Don't do this, don't do that. It's more so like, well, you know, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Right.
I had a conversation with my producer, I want to say almost a year ago, where he was giving me tips on when he used to be a car salesman or just a salesman in general. And a lot of people would come up and they'd be like, oh, listen, I got a great car for you. It's over here, da-da-da-da. And they never asked any questions. And he mentioned to me that, you know, he'd be like, okay, you know, so tell me a little bit about yourself. And based on the answers, they would tell him, like, either I got a family or I do a lot of traveling. So, you know, you wouldn't just throw him into a sports car or into a gas guzzler.
Right.
I'm going there with it because the psychology of it all, I think, can definitely help people further their business if they took the time to learn to listen, take notes, learn how to give back, you know, learn how to actually separate all the information. A lot of people, what they do is they'll group everybody into one form. Okay, you're going to eat egg whites and chicken and broccoli, and that works for everybody, and that's going to work for you.
You know, I want to just interject. I want to interject this time. You know,
you was waiting to use a big word, huh?
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's the thing about what I've seen with training, and you know, being a fitness director at one time and having a team of trainers that works for me. I just think that what I see is everything is pretty much systematic. You know, so you know, going and listening to those people is really going to help you when it comes to what an objection would be about why someone wouldn't commit to reaching their goals or hiring the trainer. You know, and those are their concerns, which are time, money, spouse, commitment. And you're going to find out which one of those concerns someone has by listening to them. You know, does your husband know you're here today? You know, is he supportive of you reaching your goals? You know, how long have you been thinking about getting into shape? When was the last time you were in the best shape of your life? How did that make you feel?
Absolutely.
You know, when you talk to somebody like that, you really can then understand and then place the time on, okay, well, when would you like to feel like that again? Like now make the goal what their thing is. Trainers aren't really taught that when they go to get a certification course. They're taught, okay, these are the body exercises. Do these, but don't do these. It doesn't teach you that part of the business about how to operate. So that's one business in becoming successful. The other thing about a personal trainer is your limitation of time. You're going to work 40 to 60 hours per week. You're going to have clients that are going to cancel on you that you're not going to see. That's going to be an awkward time if you want to charge them for your session time. You're going to try to get someone else in. So when you're operating at that level, you can be very successful if you're good. If you can funnel enough people to get enough clients to keep your time booked. You're playing at a different level. You're playing at the level where you're reaching even more people. When now you're on TV, now you have a fitness product on an infomercial. Now you're reaching the masses and as many people as possible to get them to make that decision to get fit.
Right.
You know, so I think that's really incredible thing to be able to do that.
Right. Well, I think two things. I mean, like right now, yes, it's great that I'm on the Food Network. Obviously, I'm loving it. I'm loving being on the show.
Right.
But I got to tell you, I really am a fan of personal trainers as well, because when you're in the trenches, you know, there's so much you have to do to get to a certain place. And I think if personal trainers, like you said, they come in and they sell packages.
Yeah.
And your goal shouldn't be to sell the package. Your goal should be to sell the vision that the person has inside their head. And everybody has different body image issues. You know, most personal trainers feel great about their bodies. You know, you slap a personal trainer on the back, he feels fine.
Right.
You slap somebody else on the back, and they might be thinking about the fat that's jiggling at the, you know what I mean? So you've got to try and figure out what the psychology is. I think, look, diet and exercise. If you ask most Americans, how do I get in shape? They'll be able to tell you diet and exercise, right? It's a two-dimensional approach. I think if you're going to be really effective, you have to have a three-dimensional approach, which is taking in the psychology, which is taking in the mental state of where somebody is at, you know, and bringing them along. I think we've seen the drill sergeant boot camp trainer many times over, and I think the fitness industry is ready for something to evolve, you know, from that with inspiration. Look, you can still put people through an intense, painful workout, you know, but still have them feeling like they've been inspired and they're seeing their vision come to life, you know, while they're working out. And I think, you know, that's the next step. You know, most systems will work if they're based on practical common sense and, you know, and some knowledge. I think that's the missing piece.
Right. With being on Celebrity Fat Chef, or, you know, Fat Chef. Only reason I said celebrity is because you know, like, I like to give people their just dues. Like, at the end of the day, you're still a celebrity trainer. You know what I mean? So, you know, if it sounds like a flub, it's truly not. I don't do those things. What was it like initially, okay, after the screen test and when, you know, it's actually go time?
Right.
And now you got to work with these chefs.
Right.
Who, by, you know, in their own right are, like, you know, at the top of their craft.
Right.
And you're coming in and you're trying to tell them that, listen, you can't live this lifestyle no more, not just because you're overweight, but this is killing you.
Right.
You know, like, does that reality set in? Are you met with some form of resistance, or, you know?
It depends. I mean, if you see the show, there's people like Jen, who our first, you know, time we sat down, there were tears, and, you know, she let everything out. She had gotten in touch with the pain, and she was really ready to just, you know, she was ready to go where she needed to go. Okay. You know, and then you have people like Michael, who's really, me and him are good friends. That's really cool. But Michael was in denial about some things, you know, and so, you know, my role there was to step up to him and help him see that, look, your sons are seeing you lose your life. They're not able to express it, you know, but they're crying out in other ways. And then there was just some flat resistance from Maggie. I don't know if you saw that. Twitter went crazy.
I met one. I shouldn't say met. I saw one, and you know, I really didn't get to catch the names, like I said.
Right.
It was like the pilot show.
Right.
And there was one lady she was just like adamant, like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a problem. And I was like, whoa, you serious?
Right.
You know, okay, so that might be Maggie, right?
Yeah. And so there's a lot of, you know, and then you think, so why are you here? You know, why do you have me here?
Right.
But I think it's being able to adjust to whatever's coming at you, and really being in a place where, like you said earlier, that you're ready to listen, receive, and then you know, base your plan on what you're hearing.
I have a question for you, though. Why do you think shows like The Biggest Loser or Fat Chef really appeal to people? Is it the drama of getting people to stay focused to their commitment?
Right.
And the drama that comes of them trying to cheat on their diet or go off it or not follow it that makes it so interesting? Or is it just that they're seeing this transformation, like this extreme transformation?
You answer, then I'm going to answer.
Okay. I think it's all of that. Look, everybody likes to see drama. That's why we watch TV.
Right.
You know, if TV was just factual, we would turn it off, right? So you want to see some drama, and then I think people see themselves in these characters that they don't want to admit. The amount of emails I get of people who see themselves in, one of the chefs, and it touches them in some way or motivates them in some way. And then when you get a huge result, people, they love to see the drama, but they also love to see the big win, the big victory, somebody overcome their obstacles.
Right, like Rocky.
Yeah, it's that's it. It's the Rocky syndrome.
Yeah.
They love to see someone get beat down, get up, and get to the finish line. So.
Right.
Okay. I like that
Rick,
answer.
you have your own version? You're going to go with the Rocky version?
No, hell no. The listeners of the Body Shop, they don't want to hear the Rocky version. They want to hear the truth. I think the reason shows like that succeed and has become so popular is America's own obsession with, being able to say I'm better than that, or that's not like me. Like, for instance, Michael was, I should say, like 500 plus pounds.
Yep.
That's not an exaggeration.
Yeah.
It's easy for somebody to sit back and be like, damn, look at the size of this guy. Hey, I'm not that bad.
Yeah. I feel good about myself.
Exactly.
Like watching a talk show.
No, but that's pretty much what it's like for a lot of people, and I believe that's the obsession with these shows. Like, if you notice, a lot more and more shows are coming out and is dealing with this weight issue and people being bigger and bigger and this and that. It's just America's way of saying, hey, at least I don't look like that.
Right.
And then it kind of does go into the transformation because, as Rob touched on, people do like drama.
Yeah.
And everybody likes a Cinderella story. You want to see the fat guy drop 300 pounds and, get his life back. So people are hoping for that. But in my own opinion, I think initially it's just to point the finger, like, hey, I'm not that bad. My life is pretty good compared to this guy.
Right.
I thought about it. I thought about that too. Why a show doesn't have regular people all of a sudden get in fantastic shape either. You know, if that would be as dramatic. Just taking somebody that's looks decent, just making them ripped and shredded.
All right, speaking of looking decent, I got to go somewhere with a joke. How good does Rachel Ray really look? Like, is she beautiful or what? I got to go there with it, man. I need to know, how short is she? She looked tiny on the show.
I'm the wrong guy. I've never actually seen her.
I see the wedding ring on the finger, man. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We know Mrs. Brace is listening.
Oh, yeah, she is. She gonna meet you outside.
I ain't scared of her.
Where did you come up with Rachel
I got a
Ray?
fast
You thought
car.
he was on the show?
Food Network.
Oh.
Yeah, pay attention to the segue. See? That's what I'm talking about. All right, how far out in advance?
There's that Juliana girl that's on the Italian show now too, though.
Is she the thin one that be making all the pasta?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of cute. How far out in advance is the show actually filmed, or is it pretty much like live? Like,
is it completed by the time it's on air?
Yes.
You can't say anything, and you're bound to secrecy.
Yeah.
Of course, he has the confidentiality.
But it was pretty close. It was pretty close in terms of when we finished it and when the show went up within.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes within 3 weeks. So. Yeah.
Okay.
Did they take you and put you in like seclusion?
See, Brian got all these conspiracy theories. You know what I mean?
Some of it was already out there.
Oh man, is your heart more so in the personal training aspect, or are you more into
the motivation?
Yeah, the motivation, because as you mentioned, you are or were a preacher and you do minister to people.
Right.
So that's a different aspect than going out there and training somebody. So where would you say that your heart or your passion actually lies?
That's a really good question. I think it's the motivation. I mean, I think I'm motivated by seeing people, experience victory.
Right.
And so when people change their bodies and the joy they get from that and how it changes their life, that's where really, my motivation comes from.
Right.
And so I think that's just a huge part of who I am and what I bring to my training. And I'm still in there in the trenches, with clients at the same time as doing the media stuff that I'm doing. That's why, I mean, when I think about what we did with Mark Malkov, you know, initially it was a great project to do, right? But then when you realize through his comedic approach and how far we got and what he was able to do, people talk about the results, but they talk about, you know, I want to experience what that victory is like. I want to experience what a total body transformation is like in 28 days. That's where our product comes from, the 28-day challenge. But people are that's what I love to see. I love people to be inspired. You start to get that many hits and you think, okay, this might not just be about you. It might be a bigger thing out there.
You might have something going though with training comedians instead of training big people, because those things were pretty funny.
No, this guy.
Who'll be this next comedian he could train?
You know what? I got a great comedian. Her name is Karina Fort. You know, she's amazing. Up and comer. She was actually on Broadway. I want to say 6 months ago. Yeah, she's very funny. But we'll get into that. We'll get into a couple more of your other business ventures. What else you got coming up? And how would somebody be able to get in touch with you, you know, like if they were looking to speak with you or anything like that?
If they were looking to speak with me, they can go to my website, robertbrace.com. Robert@robertbrace.com. You can email me directly. And so we're going to talk about what I got going on in the next section?
In the next section.
Okay. So that's one of the best ways to find out, you know, what's going on. And Twitter. My Twitter handle is @NYLean25. Okay. There is a @RobertBrace, but @NYLean25 is where you can really follow me, see what's going on, interact with other people who I'm training this great guy right now, Mick Boogie, who's a big DJ for you know, Jay-Z, Kanye, and he's just
name dropping. There'll be no name dropping. Ain't none of them cutting no damn check. So that's what we gonna do. Yo, Jay, I'll let your boy, man. Listen, I'm just kidding. I did do security for Jay-Z twice. You know, so we'll get into that. But listen, we got to cut to commercial. We'll be right back. Follow this man's handle. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all stay tuned. Listen to The Body Shop on FTNS.
It's time for a fitness break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back on FTNS.
It's here, the newest weapon in post-workout recovery nutrition. This natural and organic all-in-one formula delivers the ammunition your body needs to advance on your battlefield and beyond. Introducing AmNutrition's Basic Training. Protein, branched-chain amino acids, vitamins, minerals, good fats, and enzymes with no artificial sugars, colors, or flavors. Go to www.amnutritionhealth.com and join the ranks of the supplement revolution. Beyond protein, the body's ammunition. AmNutrition.
Hey fitness fans, Andre Brooks St. Clair here, host of The Body Shop, inviting you to the 14th annual FitnessAtlantic.com event taking place at the Oakdale Theater on April 14th. Now, I have a special friend that's going to tell you a little bit more about it.
Hey boys and girls, your old pal Tony Horton here, and guess what? I am coming to Connecticut. That's right, I'm going to be there. I got a cheat sheet. Nope, that's okay. That's okay. Anyway, I'm going to be there April 14th, 2012. That's this year. Can you believe it? 2012. I'm going to be there for 2 great workouts. There's going to be a warrior workout and a striker's workout, so 2 different levels. You can come to one or you can come to both. One's at 10 and one's at 3 p.m. All right, so I want to see you there. Also, we're going to do photographs. We're going to do autographs. Also, book signing. My book, Bring It's going to be there. If you don't have it already, what is wrong? You should get it, and I will sign it. All right? Also, we'll have a discussion about health and fitness and wellness and food and diet. It's all going to happen. There's lots of stories, lots of laughs. It's going to be at the Oakdale Theater in Wallingford, Connecticut. So there you go. That's all you need to know. It's going to be a blast. I want you to be there, and I want you to bring it again.
World's first fitness radio will keep you moving. FTNS, 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 FTNS.
Hi, I'm Amy Hall, host of The Green Gate. What are you hungry for? Do you need to rebalance your plate? Join us as we talk about whole, sustainable food, awesome recipes, and all the other things that nourish us. Now is the time to change your relationship with food and get back to the simple, delicious, nutritious basics. The Green Gate, your doorway to great food and healthy living. Weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, only on FTNS.
Need FTNS on the go? There's an app for that. Download the FTNS app for your iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch now. FTNS, world's first fitness radio, will keep you moving. Welcome back to FTNS, world's first fitness radio. Enjoy the show.
Yes, yes. What's up, the Bricks? What's up?
What's up, B? How you doing, man? Is that how we do it?
You got your new iPhone?
Yeah,
Messing
man.
around, put the Droid down. That's it.
I gotta admit it, man.
The Droid got laid to rest.
I'm finally a believer.
The tablet phone. He had a phone was as big as this laptop. He
I was the first one with it.
Pocket.
I was the first one with it, though. Always believe that, all right? Yeah, I gotta admit it, man. You know, I'm finally a believer. I understand why everybody has the iPhone, the functionality of it all, what it can and cannot do.
Right.
I still think it's overhyped a bit, but
it's technology, though, and you gotta sometimes you gotta give in to technology.
Well, sometimes you gotta give in to technology, and sometimes you gotta give in to the will of someone else, especially someone else that knows more than you. Hence, our guest,
Robert Brace.
There it is, right there. Brother, you like the segue?
I like that.
That's just what we do right here at the Body Shop, man. We try to educate and entertain at the same time. Now, before the break, we was talking about, just potential careers and different avenues like, training comedians and having fun with a lot of stuff.
You started it. Nobody else. You get credit.
But actually, before I go any further, man, I'd be hard pressed if I didn't give a shout out to super producer Ermal, who is not here with us, but he is listening in.
He gave us a shout out on
He has given us a shout out, so big shout out to super producer Ermal. What's next for you? Like what's on the horizon, and what new projects are you currently working on?
Right now, we have the 28-day challenge DVD system. It's a full DVD system based on what we did with Mark Malkov and how we transformed his body, and that is available at the28daychallenge.com. And what's great about that, the Fitness Atlantic winner last year, Lorianne Marchese.
Boogie.
She's part of the DVD.
Really?
She looks great on the DVD.
Oh, she owes me a shout out.
Also, we have decathlete from the Greek national team, on the DVD.
Okay.
And what we wanted to do is we wanted to create a system that really taught the average person what it's like to train at an intense level, but also, one of my pet peeves from a dance background is the form.
Right.
I see these DVDs and you can have people throwing weights all over the place and snapping things, and I'd have clients doing certain DVDs and coming in and their backs are out, and we have to, so we have a principle called a fierce form principle, which teaches people how to do it in correct form and the way we progress. There's a little secret sauce in there from my background as a dancer and a sprinter, but we've had some phenomenal results with that, so that's what's out there, the 28-day challenge at the 28daychallenge.com. And then I've shot a couple of pilots for more weight loss shows. So we're going to see what comes out of that.
Bricks is available. You tell the casting director that hooks you up. As you know what, you got a guy on FTNS radio, and I'm ready. I'm ready whenever you are.
We're going together, man.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. Demier. There it is.
So just more TV, TV projects, and we'll continue to develop. We have, I believe, we have a really strong personal training team who teaches my classes throughout the city and clients throughout the city, and we're continuing to develop that team. So
So you have people in New York City that teach the 28-day challenge for you?
Yep, they teach the 28-day challenge.
Are those people that go to the 28-day challenge website and then they want to hire people, or they find out about the classes?
We have people who pay for one-on-one training. That's high. And I'll throw this in there.
Okay, throw it in there.
That's a high price ticket item, right? You do 28 days straight with a trainer who's focused on you that does our system. people get great results. Again, check the before and afters on the website. They're awesome. And then we have the class. So people who may not have the disposable income for the high ticket price have the class, which is still a high price for a class at $600 a month, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then we have New York Lean 25, which is based on the same principles. My principles is, well, everybody knows interval training. So we go interval training with heavy weights. But I say all of that to say, you got to look at it as a business, and you got to try and cast as wide a net as possible, right? And so we have something for the the high-end clientele, something for the professionals, and something for everybody. And that way you've always got a revolving door of new people reaching you, interacting with you, and building your business that way. And so I train my trainers to teach those classes a specific way with a specific energy and a specific intensity. And I'm finding that the training of the trainers is key to enabling a quality product.
All right.
Yeah, we interviewed one guy who called himself a master trainer, and somebody asked him, what do you mean by master trainer? And he said, a trainer who trains other trainers. I was like, cool, I like that.
So that makes you a master?
Right here, master trainer.
Yeah, okay. Like I said, so that makes you a master. All right, let's get into a little bit more of your earlier background, because there was a couple things that you touched on which I don't want to bypass.
Okay.
And that is your background in dance. For those who may have missed it, or for those who are just tuning into the Body Shop, first of all, you're late. Second of all, you went to the Alvin Haley School of Dance, which is a very, very prestigious school.
Right.
What style of dance did you actually study?
Well, I studied all things, but I was modern dancer.
Okay.
Did ballet, also did jazz, but modern and ballet were my strong suits. That's why I came on scholarship to Alvin Haley from the school in London, and I credit it with a lot of the way I view training. That, and in high school I did a lot of sprinting.
Okay.
But
were you doing 100 or 200?
200.
200?
Yeah, man.
What times we looking at?
Oh, I was a young kid, man.
Okay. Hold on. So based on your length,
I was a short kid. I only shut up at 18.
Really?
Yeah, man. I was the shortest kid in my year throughout my high school.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm guessing you was running about sub 24s, maybe a couple 23s.
Yeah,
I still got it, brother. I still got it, man. From one sprinter to another. I was able to size them up like that down at Florida State. So we ain't gonna talk about that. But when did you first fall in love with fitness? Because that love for fitness is what actually parlayed you into working with your friend, who then put in a good word for you through a casting agent, who then eventually led to this success that you're having now.
Right.
So when did your love for fitness actually evolve?
In two places, and one was born through adversity. While I was training as a dancer, I'll get through this quick, I was on a scholarship at the school in London, and I had an injury in my back, which took me out for 6 months, and they said that they would take away my scholarship if I didn't get better over the summer. So that summer I went to the gym, and I did nothing but, you're a spiritual man.
Absolutely.
But go back to my spirituality, praying and work it out. I worked out in that gym for 8 hours a day on different parts of my body. It's a little obsessive, but my body healed. I got back, and then my dance career went off. I got a scholarship to Alvin Haley. And so the transformative power of physical exercise and how you're able to mold your body and heal your body is one of the ways I fell in love with fitness. And then just being around New York, I'm pretty, by nature, I'm a laid back guy, but I'm competitive. Right. So, it doesn't come out overtly, but you walk into these gyms in New York, and everybody's flexing. And
Right.
And so I fell in love with that because it was another community. Part of that is people just wanting to be better. People just wanting to improve themselves. People just wanting to, train at a better level, learn new things, apply them. And so that's what I fell in love with. I was like, okay, these guys, it's not a game. These guys are serious, and that's what I started to fall in love with, because I love I love when something has an intensity, a focus, and a direction about it. And these guys really had that. I was able to train in some cool small gyms. So.
Nice. With being in New York, and we all know that New York is one of the hardest places to make it. You know, I mean, there's actually an old saying that says, "If I can make it here, I can make it anywhere."
Right. It's a song.
Hey, I don't know how old you think I am. We done had this discussion before. I don't know these damn songs. Okay, I'm a product of the Dougie. I'm a product of the Stanky Leg. I don't know New York, New York. I don't listen to Sinatra. All right.
Stanky Leg.
I'm lying, man. I'm in my 30s. Just like having a little bit of fun. But, you know, the competitive nature of being in New York, a lot of people would say, I thrive on that. I need that. And then they get out there and you realize, okay, you're one of 7,000 going for a job, and then they actually get burnt out.
Right.
What do you attribute your longevity to and that competitive nature?
I think, well, in terms of the competitive nature, I think it's just something, you know, that's been in me. I have 3 brothers.
Oh, okay,
so,
got you.
You know, you didn't eat unless you beat your other brother.
With only 3, that's it. Man, I got 10 brothers, man. I know what you're talking about.
So yeah, right. And then I think, you know, for me, focus on what you're doing.
Right.
Don't focus on everybody else. You only need 1 or 2 big opportunities to break. And I think if you stick around in the right places at the right time, over and over and over again, doing the right things, one of those opportunities is going to come up, and you just got to be ready for it when it happens.
So persistence.
Persistence, and look, don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Figure out what your value is, and where your strengths are. Keep working those and presenting them to the world, and eventually your opportunity will come. And when it comes, you're ready.
That reminds me of a reggae song that we listened to back in the West Indies, which is actually taken indirectly from a Bible quote. And it basically says, what's for Caesar could never be for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the meaning behind that is what God has for you is always for you. Nobody else can ever prosper from your blessing, just like you can't be hurt with somebody else being blessed. If, for instance, if you're meant to be the greatest, you know, promoter of a show, then that's what you're destined to be. That's who you're going to be no matter what. But you will never advance trying to be the voice of that show. You know, that's me. That's who I am.
Oh, yeah?
That's just an example. No, I'm just saying. I'm giving that as like an example. For instance, like I could be the voice, but I could never go behind the boards and do what Sean and super producer Amal does. I could never stand in front of Food Network and you know, be that celebrity trainer. That's just not who I am. I would be a trainer behind the scenes and charge you a whole heap of money, and then, you know, go tie 10% of that. But, you know, like some things are just not cut out for people. So I like what you're saying when you're talking about be persistent, find out what works for you and stick at that, and then your success will definitely come. So I appreciate that. Is there anybody out there that you would like to thank?
Well, God, obviously. And I think, you know, there's a few people.
Go ahead.
Mark Malkov, because he's just inspired me. Marquita Bradley, because she gave me the opportunity for the Food Network show.
Marquita, I'm available.
My wife, because she puts up with all of the craziness in my head and that goes on, and my 2 daughters who do the same. And then, you know, to be quite frank with you, I have a really great extended church family who just, you know, sometimes come in and picked up the slack and, you know, give me a slap over the head sometimes when I need it. But you just need people in your life that are going to help you. Oh, and one other community, and this is just a freebie. NPE, Net Profit Explosion, right? What they do is they take independent trainers and they help them develop a way of looking at the personal training industry as a business.
Is that Sean Greenlee?
Yep, that's right. And I was a little skeptical when I got the emails and when I went, but you know, some of their live coaching is excellent, and I haven't put into practice all of the systems, but the 1 year I went, I put in two different things into practice, and it's totally revolutionized, you know, the way I run my business and given me the availability to do things like the Food Network show.
Yeah. And PE, ladies and gentlemen, you're hearing it here. Now, once again, how can somebody get in touch with you?
Okay, Robert@robertbrace.com. Shouldn't clap. Robert@robertbrace.com, and then @NYLean, LEAN 25.
You can also follow @DA_Bricks. You can follow @Fitness Atlantic. What's up, B?
Well, and they definitely got to check out www.the28daychallenge.com.
Say it again.
The28daychallenge.com.
Yep,
I like
that's
that.
right.
I like that.
And you see the Mark Malka video there. Watch his transformation.
This man always got a plug. I love it so much.
Do it.
Listen, Rob, I want to thank you so much for coming into the studio.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate
I would love to have you back, man. You know,
absolutely.
Okay, cool. So when your schedule allows that, reach out to Brian, and we'll definitely have you back on. All right?
Okay, brilliant.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you, guys.
Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we are out of time. We hope that you've been educated as well as entertained. And in closing, I'd like to leave you with this. Success breeds envy. The best revenge you can have against a jealous person is just become more successful. Keep God first and everything else will fall into place. Yo, this is Bricks. I'm signing off for Brian, Big Rob, Super Producer Amal. We miss you. Super Producer Big Sean, thank you. We got to go, y'all. See you when I see you.